If you're looking to shake up your online backstabbing sessions, we've rounded up 5 of the best Among Us custom game modes for your group to give a go. Number 1. Hide and Seek. Easily Among Us's most popular variant, Hide and Seek sees one imposter with reduced vision hunting down defenseless crewmates as they run for their lives. You can forget about that airlock, as in this game, it's simply a case of legging it as quickly as you can between tasks, or cowering in a corner as the imposter stalks past. Crewmates can talk and let each other know where the imposter is, but doing so will give away that they're nearby. Here are the key rules that you need to know for the Hide and Seek game mode. Players may talk during the game. At the start of the round, the imposter announces themselves and sabotages comms. The imposter gives crewmates a head start of 10 seconds to flee, longer if they like a challenge. Imposters aren't allowed to sabotage, and crewmates can't repair. Crewmates cannot report bodies or call meetings. Crewmates must complete their tasks without being killed to win. And here are the game settings required. Feel free to pause the video now if you want to copy them. If the crewmates are finding things too easy, feel free to bump up the number of tasks or reduce their vision range. Likewise, if the imposter is doing too well, reduce the task count or increase the kill cooldown. For an extra twist, you can also play a non-task variant, in which crewmates simply have to hide from the imposter, with the last surviving player declared as the winner. Number 2. Murder, She Wrote. Inspired by the beloved TV show starring Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote turns each body report into an interrogation. Anytime someone slaps the big red button or discovers a corpse, a trial begins. The living players become detectives, only able to ask questions of whoever called the meeting. That player, in turn, is only allowed to speak when answering. Bear in mind that your interviewee may not be telling the truth, and the same goes for your detectives. Check questions and answers carefully, and only vote when sure. Here's a summary of the key details you need to know to play Murder, She Wrote. The game is played as normal until a body is reported or a meeting is called. During meetings, the player who called the meeting is under interrogation. Other players can only ask questions about the report, and only the player who called the meeting may respond. You cannot ask questions which directly implicate another player. Adding a touch of drama and roleplay to your answers is encouraged, but not necessary. We're just saying that if you've got a great Poirot impression, now's the time to use it. And here are the game settings you'll need. Feel free to tweak the discussion and voting times from standard if you're enjoying the length of interrogations. Murder, She Wrote can favour the imposter quite heavily, so feel free to play around with the number of tasks and the kill cooldown depending on the direction your matches swing. Number 3. Sheriff Mod. The first proper mod on this list, Sheriff adds a brand new role to Among Us. Hidden among the crewmates is a player with a lust for imposter blood. Secretly identified as the Sheriff, they're capable of taking the law into their own hands and attempting a kill on anyone they deem suspicious. If the Sheriff kills an imposter, the game continues as normal. However, if the Sheriff attempts to kill a crewmate, they'll end their own life instead. It's a powerful ability, but the Sheriff needs to be careful, or they'll only end up furthering the imposter's cause. To play this game mode, you'll need everyone to download and install the Sheriff mod. Thankfully, we've already put together a guide on how to do so, which you'll find linked in the description below. Once that's sorted, you can set up a custom game and play Among Us with your standard rules. The Sheriff mod works best with 2 imposters and plenty of players, so the more friends you can convince to take part, the better. Number 4. The Gauntlet. This tense variant sees each crewmate face a deadly one-on-one race against the imposter. With a brief head start, each challenger to the Gauntlet must complete their tasks quickly and stealthily to avoid being hunted down and executed by the bloodthirsty killer on their heels. There's no teamwork here, so cheer your allies on and steel yourself for your own turn in the Gauntlet. Here are the rules and settings you need. Players may talk during the game. At the start of the round, everyone waits in the spawn zone. The imposter announces themselves, then chooses a player to go first. That crewmate gets a head start of 15 seconds before the imposter is unleashed. If the imposter kills the crewmate, they return to the spawn zone and choose another to face the Gauntlet. If the crewmate successfully completes their tasks before being killed, the imposter loses and is ejected. And these are the game settings you'll probably want to use. The Gauntlet works best when the running player is able to stream their game to the group via a service like Discord. If not, you'll just have to rely on their squeals of fear to let you know how well they're doing. Play around with the imposter vision and number of tasks depending on how well each side is performing. Number 5. Camera Duty. This one goes out to all the voyeurs of the world. Set on the Skeld and Polus maps, Camera Duty sticks one player permanently on the map's cameras. They must watch the others carefully in an attempt to identify the imposter. As soon as they think they know who it is, they declare a meeting, and everyone has to follow their lead when it comes to voting. Choose incorrectly, and the camera's player is booted off for someone else to take up the role. Here are those all-important rules and settings you'll need to play. At the start of a round, pick one player randomly to take up camera duty. Only the player on cams may talk during the game. The camera player cannot leave the cam room until calling a vote. The imposter may not kill the player on camera duty. The remaining crewmates play Among Us as normal, but without the ability to report bodies or call meetings. At any time, the player on cameras may declare stop, and all players must wait for them to call an emergency meeting. During the meeting, the player on cameras declares who they think the imposter is. Everyone else must vote them off the ship. If the imposter isn't killed, the camera duty player chooses someone else to take up the role, and the game continues. And for game settings, all you'll need is one imposter, unlimited emergency meetings, and your standard rules. If you prefer to pile all the pressure on a single stressed soul, have the same player return to camera duty each time, and keep playing until they guess correctly or everyone else has been killed. Number 6. Crewlink Proximity Chat. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten how to count to 5. We just couldn't complete this list without also giving a quick nod to Automated's Crewlink Proximity Chat mod. Installing this will allow you to hear players based on their proximity to you on each level. That means everyone is free to chat as much as they want. Sadly, that also includes the imposter, who's free to deliver a creepy final word before plunging their knife into your back. To use proximity chat, you'll need everyone involved to download and install the Crewlink program from Automated's GitHub page. The full instructions can be found on our website, so check the description down below for a link to that. It is a terrifying alternative to the standard game's silence, and works brilliantly with most of the game modes we've listed here. And that, dear crewmates, is all the time we've got for sharing Among Us custom games. Let us know which is your favourite in the comments section down below. Thanks for joining us here at HyperX. Feel free to check out any of our other videos, which should magically appear on your screen right about now.